Imagine a freezing winter morning in a dilapidated wooden shack high in the mountains, where a baby girl is being born. Her family was so poor, they couldn't even afford to pay the doctor, so they paid him with a single sack of cornmeal.
Little did anyone know that this tiny infant would one day become a voice that echoes in the hearts of millions across the globe.
The girl who was born into the grip of extreme poverty is now the queen of a billion-dollar empire. This isn't just the story of a singer. It is a living epic of breaking the chains of destiny to reach the pinnacle of success.
Stay tuned to discover the incredible secret behind Dolly Parton's rise to fame. Birth and family. The grip of poverty. On January 19th, 1946, Dolly Rebecca Parton was born in a one-room cabin on the banks of the Little Pigeon River in the Great Smoky Mountains of Tennessee.
She was the fourth of 12 children born to Robert Lee Parton, an illiterate sharecropper, and Avi Lee Parton, a devoted homemaker.
Their poverty was so extreme that when Dolly was born, her father paid the doctor who delivered her with a sack of cornmeal because they had no cash.
Growing up in a shack without electricity or running water, winter meant snow leaking through the cracks in the walls.
Yet, in this destitute environment, her mother nurtured her soul with music and folklore.
Childhood, the unstoppable 5-year-old. By the age of 5, Dolly's genius was already evident.
While other children played with dolls, Dolly would stand on the porch of their cabin, singing into a microphone made from a cornstalk with a tin can stuck on top.
She used to pretend the chickens in the yard were her audience.
At just 5 years old, she composed her first song, Little Tiny Tassel Top, about a doll made from a corn cob. Since she couldn't read or write yet, her mother transcribed the lyrics for her.
Her imagination was her escape from the hunger and cold that often haunted their home. School days and the first guitar. Dolly attended a local mountain school, often wearing clothes handmade by her mother from scraps of old fabric.
One of these coats, a patchwork of colorful rags, became the subject of ridicule by her schoolmates, but to Dolly, it was a garment of love.
This experience later inspired her legendary song, Coat of Many Colors. Her uncle, Bill Owens, recognized her extraordinary talent and gifted her a real guitar when she was 8.
That guitar became her best friend and her ticket out of the mountains.
The journey begins, leaving the mountains. By age 10, Dolly was appearing on local radio and television stations in Knoxville. Her voice was powerful, unique, and filled with the raw emotion of the Appalachian Hills.
Despite the bullying at school and the lack of resources, she remained focused.
The day after she graduated from high school in 1964, she packed her belongings in a cardboard suitcase and took a bus to Nashville, the heart of country music. She arrived with nothing but her songs and an ironclad determination to change her destiny. This was the humble beginning of a journey that would eventually transform a barefoot mountain girl into a global icon. The harsh realities of Nashville. When Dolly arrived in Nashville in 1964, success didn't greet her at the bus station. She spent her first few days eating leftover mustard and ketchup packets to survive. To pay her bills, she worked in laundromats while pitching her songs to every label in town. Initially, she found success as a songwriter, but labels were hesitant to sign her as a singer, claiming her voice was too high and vibrato heavy. But Dolly refused to change. She knew her uniqueness was her greatest asset, not a flaw. The Porter Wagoner breakthrough. In 1967, country star Porter Wagoner invited Dolly to join his syndicated television show. This was the turning point. For 7 years, she became a household name across America through the show. However, Dolly had a vision that extended beyond being a sidekick. In 1974, she made the difficult decision to leave the show to pursue a solo career. To say goodbye to her mentor, she wrote the legendary song, "I Will Always Love You." This song later became one of the best-selling singles of all time, proving that her talent was boundless. Crossing over from country to pop icon. By the mid-1970s, Dolly realized that to become a global star, she had to cross over into the pop market. She intentionally changed her sound and image, blending country roots with pop sensibilities. In 1977, Here You Come Again became a massive hit, topping both country and pop charts. Her subsequent hits, like Jolene and 9 to 5, solidified her status as a global phenomenon. She wasn't just a singer anymore. She was a cultural icon, known for her self-deprecating humor, flamboyant style, and incredible songwriting. Hollywood success and business acumen. Dolly's ambition led her to Hollywood in 1980, where she starred in the hit film 9 to 5. Her performance earned her Oscar and Golden Globe nominations. At a time when women had little control in the industry, she insisted on owning the publishing rights to all her songs. She famously turned down Elvis Presley's request to cover her song because his manager demanded half the publishing rights. This business savvy ensured that the girl who once had nothing would eventually build a billion-dollar empire, including her own theme park, Dollywood. Her journey from the mountains to the world stage was fueled by a simple philosophy. Find out who you are and do it on purpose. Dollywood and a business empire. Today, Dolly Parton is far more than a pop icon. She is a titan of industry. Her theme park, Dollywood, located in the very mountains where she grew up, attracts millions of visitors annually and provides jobs to thousands of locals. She transformed the region of her birth from a place of struggle
into a beacon of economic prosperity.
With a net worth of hundreds of millions of dollars, she remains grounded. Dolly has proven that childhood poverty is not a cage, but a foundation upon which a global empire can be built if one possesses unyielding courage. Philanthropy and the Imagination Library. One of Dolly's greatest legacies is her commitment to literacy. Inspired by her father's inability to read or write, she founded the Imagination Library, which has gifted over 200 million books to children worldwide. Her generosity isn't limited to education. In 2020, she donated $1 million to help fund the research for the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine, a gift that impacted the entire world. Her heart is as large as her fame, making her a true humanitarian hero. The lesson, Dolly's wisdom for us. The ultimate lesson from Dolly Parton's life is be yourself on purpose. Despite the ridicule regarding her flamboyant appearance or her high-pitched voice, she never compromised her identity. Her second lesson is the importance of ownership and vision. By retaining the rights to her work and thinking like a CEO, she secured her future. Dolly teaches us that your origin does not define your destination. She didn't use poverty as an excuse. She used it as fuel. Her story is a reminder that with faith, hard work, and a sense of humor, even a girl from a mountain shack can change the world.